We're regularly discussing what we feel are some of the key issues for our customers out in the marketplace, and thinking about how at Bayer we can actually help our customers address those issues. This Poa management seminar that we're holding here in Adelaide is a really exciting opportunity for us to get key people within the industry together, and what we're hoping to achieve is to deepen the knowledge around Poa management, and particularly around resistance management.
You don't want to be using herbicides when they're not working at all. So the aim is to really get an appreciation of baseline testing, understand if you've got resistance or not, find out which herbicides are still working.
Some of the very early work that I've done has actually had a look at the physical structure of a lot of Poa Annua plants. So we get tremendous variation from very dense, tight plants to plants that are very sort of what we call sort of wild and weedy types. That genetic diversity gives it tremendous ability to be resistant to herbicides.
In the southern areas, it's more widespread, but we're certainly picking it up now in Sydney, in New South Wales, and reports of increasing problems with poor weed control in Western Australia, so I think it is spreading. So those people who haven't got major problems yet, they need to adopt some strategies to make sure that the situation doesn't get worse. For those who've got issues, we really need some research into that.
I've been involved in the turf industry for over 30 years, and over probably the last 3 to 5 years we're starting to see a bigger issue with herbicide resistance in Poa Annua, or annual wintergrass. Annual wintergrass is probably our biggest weed, and it's become a major problem in warm season grasses in particular, where we're just finding that conventional herbicides are becoming less and less effective. There's a big concern because we're trying to have high quality turf surfaces, particularly golf course fairways, sports fields, because if we allow the wintergrass to persist, it causes a degradation over the winter months of that couch base or that warm season grass base. So everybody's looking at what can we do, because a lot of the conventional herbicide strategies aren't working. So we're trying to look more and more at mixes of different herbicides with different modes of action. We need to understand a lot more about the timing of applications of herbicides, whether we mix them as a tank mix or whether we do consecutive applications. The other big challenge that we've got is actually the seed bank as well. Poa Annua is a self-pollinating plant. Herbicide-resistant plant reproduces itself exactly. So we've got a whole population of more resistant plants. Part of the work that I've been involved in is not only looking at some of the herbicides and combinations of herbicides, but also having a look at the seed bank. How big is that population? And also in part to see whether the use of pre-emergence can gradually weaken and reduce that seed bank.
One of the main things is it produces a lot of seeds, and so you've got a massive population there, and the likelihood of finding a resistant individual in that is quite high because of just the sheer numbers. For many years we've had Group B herbicides, and they've been really easy to use. They're very safe, low rate, really effective herbicides. All of a sudden things have become unstuck because they're not working anymore. But superintendents haven't been using as many residual herbicides. Residual herbicides have very different modes of action, and incorporating them into the system will help keep most of those herbicides working for a long time.
I guess what I've been thinking about for the last 12 months is what are the strategies we can use to overcome the resistance that we're seeing out in the field. And obviously one of the key things that we've realised today and from the last couple of months is that research funds is desperately needed in turf grass to try and understand the problem, look for solutions.
Yeah, my experience has been out in the region, particularly in Victoria, where I'm based in Melbourne. We have a huge problem with Poa resistance. Throughout the whole year, Poa is germinating. Superintendents are struggling to control the weed. Bayer have taken on board and want to be the forefront in the research and development of trying to overcome the issue and look at different means and ways of how we approach Poa control and management.
What we're looking at is Bayer not just being a provider of a product. We really would like to take a role of being a provider of knowledge, and as you say, sparking ideas and thinking about new ways of looking at how we can apply products or new things, pieces of research we might need to do, for example.